Hi guys, how's it going? I hope you're all great. Well, I'm sorry I have so much time before I upload any new video because, as you can see, I'm in a hotel room because I am with some travel with my work. And despite that, I actually had this idea on the top of my head. And the thing is that I wanted to talk about this topic and I didn't know how to basically bring an example to it to make on this video the idea clear to other people. And so I think the time has finally arrived. And so the thing that I would like to say comes with an analogy like this. Imagine that you are writing an exam. Oh, great. Right off to a great start, are we? Anyways, imagine that this is the only exam there is, and that is basically the most important thing you need to write ever. And the thing is, for that kind of exam, you don't need to study. You are already the best studied person you could possibly be. And so with this, you have 3 hours to write all possible things you could write. And that is actually a huge exam. It's close to 100, 150 questions. And you secretly know as much as you can. And you are allowed to spend as much time as you want on these questions. And these questions basically, you are allowed to also, in a way, how should I say this? To open them up. Basically, there's a question, all right, in that exam. And you are allowed to answer however you want, whether with yes or no, whether with just one line, whether with just a drawing, even, or you can write as much as you want, even huge paragraphs for one question. And so basically, you can do that with every question. But if you're honest about yourself, you're going to answer as much questions that you can that you know best, right? And so 50 questions are probably the least important. You check them out, you didn't really care about answering them at all. It wasn't really so important to you. Some other questions were just some important for you because somewhat important to you because they were hard, and they were quite important because you must write as much questions as you can. And the other questions are just the most important thing you can answer. Let's just say the 30 questions that I just mentioned are just not as important, but you spend time on them anyway. And 70 questions are basically your entire thing. That thing was so important to you, you tried to give your absolute best asset or essay in a way to answer each question as much as you can. And only 3 hours. And basically, after the 3 hours, game over. There's no more. Now, any logical person will think to himself or herself that probably it would be logical, obviously logical, to even though to try be honest and answer as accurately as he or she possibly can, but also not to run out of time in his mind or her mind. And so the thing is that 3 hours may as well be small time for so many questions if you are also allowed to answer them as much as you can. And the thing is that when the exam ends, some minutes before it ends, you basically must answer to yourself whether or not you're satisfied with your try. Because really, you have only a certain amount of time. And basically, if you try to answer as much as you can, the best, well, at the end you said, oh, well, at least I tried. I did my attempt, and now let's see what's going on. Let's see what happens after that. And now my example ends here. That was the main idea for basically for what I'm actually trying to tell you. And so What I am indeed trying to say is that uh, every person eventually is going to stop existing the way he exists or she exists right now. He or she is eventually going to pass away. And so I'm not saying this to essentially bring everything down and say that everything's going to end. What's the point? If anything, I'm trying to do the exact opposite. As young people, I think there's a misconception that we believe that we have time in front of us and we can multiple years ahead of us, 20 to 30s in particular, that decades, 20s and 30s, to basically experiment, find out who you are, and trying out new things and try making new friends and find your relationships there, basically. At least that was one perception of mine. It's not absolute, but you know what I mean. And so, with this, basically, is I'm trying to say is that it's not very pleasant to hurry in someone's life, because really there's no point into hurrying up unless you believe that you're late. Otherwise, you're just hungry for life, right? You're just hungry for you to just experience everything, travel the world, learn about yourself, learn about some kind of art that you're interested in, or some people that ever existed, some kind of history, some kind of philosophy, or some kind of religion, or something like that. It could be, or it could be not. But anyways, there are some things that making life, in a way, worthwhile. Basically, individually, and that is subjective to almost everyone. And so, what I'm trying to say with this is that I believe it's a great idea for us people to find as much early as possible the things and the people that we are, in a way, destined to deal with and spend a lot of chunk of our lives with. As early as possible we can, because if we fill our lives and basically thinking ourselves of something that we want to do, and in a way we live in a constant, let's say, ladder, staircase, where, okay, I'm here, I want to get here. Now that I'm here, I want to get here. Now that I'm here, I want to get here, and something constant rise up until, well, first thing, does this ever end? In my mind, it should, but in a way, not to say that you must stop getting up in your rise or something like that. Not at all. Just saying that if this is forcible, if this is forceful, I'm sorry, it should be because the reasoning behind this is strong, and that's just a strong period of time where this is just going to be intense and very strong. What I mean by this is that the point of life is not to just constantly climb up the ladder and just say, look at how high I got. Most people, I don't think, really care about those stuff. I believe that when someone takes his or her life seriously and basically start wondering how he or she should spend his or her time, that's not a superficial question at all. And I think that because we have such limited time here, exactly because of that, is that we have to find something that correlates with us, and basically, okay, decide that this is the thing that I'm more likely to do for the rest of my life, and basically say that, okay, now that I've done those things that I ever wanted to do, okay, I did it. I'm saying this in a way that if there are some kind of achievement, some kind of goal, let's say that I want an amazing relationship, or to get this job, or to get a license, or to get educated, and say that this is the thing that I always want to do with my life, well, I believe that this should be the thing that anyone should go at first, first and foremost, and stay with that, in the sense of that if they achieve the things that they always wanted to do, their life is in a way complete. Because really, you can constantly try to pursue things and constantly start searching for things, for new opportunities, for something new, for new education, for new art, whatever. And basically start saying to yourself that there's just no end to it. I only have a few years. How am I supposed to know that the way I live is enough, or the thing that I'm doing are enough? The thing that I'm doing is enough. Well, that is exactly it, the point, because we don't have unlimited time. We can have some limited activities, or relationships, or personal quirks in a way that makes this existence infinite in a way. If someone was about to ask me, or maybe I should say to myself, if I was to end, if I happen for some reason to stop existing, and basically knowing that, okay, I lived for as much as I lived, and that is it, and there's no more. Personally, I have thought a lot about this, and I would say that yes, I would be perfectly satisfied with it. I personally have done everything I ever wanted to do. I wanted to make the relationship with my family the way I wanted, because it could turn out to be way worse, but it didn't in the end. I still have almost the most amazing friendships anyone could ask for. And the thing is that they just keep coming, but now that's just the way they are right now. The number of friends I have right now, and the quality of relationship I have cultivated with them, is just so rare and so unique to me, and so in high quality. I'm sorry, and so in high quality that basically I'm satisfied in that domain at all, at that part of my life entirely. And so another thing that I actually want to really express is that I was interested to find basically what's the point in doing anything? What's the point in existing? What's the point of life? What's the point of anything, for that matter? And as I don't know how this is going to sound, but I think I found my own individual thing, and basically can say that now that I know that basically words have meaning, and not necessarily the existence of our lives have meaning, that can be an amazing start by itself. But also many more other kind of philosophies and religion, let's say religious traits and spiritual awakenings, I should say. But anyways, I don't have anything better to describe such terms. I've become, in my opinion, wise enough to say that, okay, I'm also very guided through these lines. I know what it is to do, to study very hard and basically listen to other philosophers and think about themselves, how they perceive, how they comprehend life, and how they react, how they think. And it's been obviously very useful, and of course I appreciate almost everything about them, to the point where I'm saying that their help was more than enough for me to do the same in my own terms, and basically manage to find my own thing, my own individual meaning, in a way, meaning. And with that, basically, I'm saying I'm perfectly satisfied. And so in the way, what all that has to do with the exam that I just mentioned, that I have to answer some questions and I have only 3 hours. Well, the idea was that the 3 hours was basically my own existence, the way I exist right now, the way I live. And basically, if I was about to answer these sort of questions as early as I possibly can, with the absolute honesty, with absolute greatest precision, as I possibly can. And don't give a damn about many other questions that I did not really care. This will be my actual answer, that I decided to spend a lot of my time searching for that exact thing. What do I live for? What do I do? Why do I do anything? And basically, I was the guy who tried to reason everything behind everything that I did. And the thing is that I did it. It worked out. It worked out perfectly. I did the things that I never thought they were possibly achievable, in my own eyes at least, and not just once, not twice, but thrice. And those things were basically my own limitations on many topics. In which topics basically many times I believe I'm going to express them here in the channel. But anyways, I have in a way surpassed my own limitations. So the thing is that I got whatever I ever wanted to get in this life period, and the thing is that I did it at a relatively young age. I'm basically now the guy who just answered everything, just waits for the 3 hours to pass away and then continue on with whatever I was supposed to continue. In exactly the same way here, I was asking questions about my existence and basically what I want to do with my life and everything basically, everything important to me. Close at the age of, I don't know, 5 or 6. Well, insanely young, but still I had my own reasons for doing it so young. I was in a way forced, but that's another story for another day. And basically, I did one of my absolute amazing achievements at the age of 12. Then at the age of 18-ish, 19 to be more exact. And then at the age of 22, I believe, or 24. Somewhere along those lines. 20, it must have been 22 years old. 22 and 24, somewhere there. Where the years were to say, now I did everything. Everything. Way more than I ever expected in this life. I did the one thing at my 12 years old. Amazing thing, in my own opinion. But the thing that I always wanted to do and surpassed it myself, in a way. Then 19 years old. Then again, I'm saying, oh my God. Now I got everything. Now I'm totally satisfied. If everything was about to get screwed in a way or get destroyed or me basically having the worst life possible after that point, I would be perfectly satisfied because I lived whatever I wanted to live. And now a third time at 22 years old or 24 years old. It has to be 22 or 24, but I'm gonna remember anyways. That thing happened, and basically, wow, the third thing that basically I didn't know I could possibly do it, and I can't believe I'm living this existence. And so I'm close. I'm actually now 27, and I'm about to be 28. And so this past 5 years, 4 or 5 years, or even 6, I'm basically living a blank existence. It's a kind of bittersweet sensation because I don't really have any particular goal or plan. It's all gone. It's all, maybe not, I should say, they're not gone. They're achieved. They are done for. And everything that comes to mind is way less important than the things that I have done already. And now, one last thing that I'm saying, that, you know what, it's worthwhile, it's worth my time to just spend some minutes or even some hours of my life trying to make some videos and try to talk about this with many other people that possibly are searching for themselves, or they're searching for their own meaning, they're searching for their own ground. They think that they can say to themselves, okay, I did that, and now that I did it, I'm perfectly satisfied with my life. There's nothing in it for me in this life anymore. There's nothing more liberating in my eyes than this. it can be a little bit lonely because I seem to be the guy that just chills and just I just relax while everybody around me seemingly saying that this guy's a stupid person that's constantly laughing by himself and always making everything seem so trivial or something like that. Or another person at the or another person may as well seem to treat me as if I'm a guy that takes everything so chill and relaxed and doesn't give a damn about a lot of things, and I seem so relaxed in their eyes. And this is basically the reason I decided to make some more videos, because I think more people are going to resonate with that and say basically that most people seem to be goal driven, but really, if you really like goals and long trips and long destinations, then this could be a great, satisfying in a way of living. Basically, to just work, 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 and then instantaneously achieve that entire goal. When for me, something else, it's just, it only takes one moment to just realize, that is the key word, realize. And basically, everything basically is changed from that moment and beyond. Just because you made a shift and you decide to see that side, the other side, and say to yourself that you can do that exact same thing, the same thing on another perspective. You can do the exact same thing on almost everything, and you're not a liar. You're not a hypocrite by deciding to do that. You're not someone who denies reality in a way. You're just someone who decides how he or she wants to live. And there's nothing wrong with that. In the end, life doesn't necessarily have a meaning. Words have meaning, and basically, life is whatever we do. And that is it. Those beliefs seem to be so simple, yet if people really grasp those things, well, people would be more happy, obviously. They would be more relaxed. They would chill much more, and they wouldn't work so much. And basically would not be so anxious and so constantly tensed in a way. And so I'm making this video basically to say that, yes, that everything I want to do is done, and basically I'm trying to find the new thing. And the new thing, I don't know if it is on my way, but we'll see what's gonna happen. What I gotta do is just, I appreciate everything and everyone that brought me to this wonderful place, wonderful position in life. I thank you that you put a lot of your time listening to my nonsense, basically. And I try to make more videos like this more consistent, because okay, now I happen to work, but I must make my videos because there's nothing in it for me anymore in this life. So this is gonna be my video for today. I hope you like it. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye, and thank you so much for your precious time.